Ride the Amtrak.
Yeah. Come on and take a free ride. Come on and take me by your side. Come on and take a free ride.
And I want everybody to know we arrived 2.5 minutes earlier than we expected. Amtrak is here. We deliver. We're on time, and we're the new choice of the traveling public.
Because we're ushering in a whole new era, ladies and gentlemen, in transportation in America, the greatest country in the world. Today, we are going to say hello to the very first high-speed train as it makes its first stop right here in New York City. Now, that is a reason to applaud.
Over the next couple of years, to have a new 21st century Penn Station that will be the appropriate home to welcome the Acela Express right here to New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome America's first high-speed express train, Acela Express! Woo!
Put your hands together, everybody! High-speed rail is here.
Amtrak has launched its long-awaited Acela Express, a faster, more sophisticated train covering the Northeast Corridor. Carl Rochelle takes us for a ride.
It's sleek, it's fast, and it's called Acela. Christening ceremonies were held at Washington's Union Station before the United States' first bullet train was sent out on its inaugural trip to New York and Boston. It can cost you up to $40 more than the regular Metro liner, but you can travel at speeds of up to 150 miles per hour.
You know, we're 7-8 minutes ahead of where I normally am, and then we're 18 minutes ahead of where we normally are, kind of thing. It was really exciting.
Michael Dukakis, the former governor of Massachusetts, is a member of the Amtrak board.
Our highways aren't working, and our airports are a mess. And people are finally waking up to the fact that you have to invest in rail.
This train is now going 135 miles an hour. But the Acela is not only faster than other trains, its passenger cars are redesigned with wider, more comfortable seats and wider windows to let in more light. And there was an added feature on this trip. The chairman of Amtrak calls the bullet train the way of the future.
Well, what we're really doing is giving the American traveling public an opportunity to have a new choice. You know, they're talking about being frustrated in their automobiles on the gridlock they see on the interstates. They're talking about an alternative to going to the airports and not being treated properly.
But with the higher speeds, is it really safe?
It is built to safety standards in North America that are much more stringent than other parts of the world.
And for those on the inaugural trip, how was it?
The train was unbelievable. It was the best ride I have ever had.
Well, I thought it was really exciting because we were the first ones who ever got to ride it.
The Acela Express pulled into New York 2 hours, 26 minutes after it left Washington, more than 15 minutes sooner than Amtrak's fastest train. Carl Rochelle, CNN, at Penn Station in New York.
NBC News World Headquarters in New York. This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
And at Washington's Union Station today, a christening. This country's first high-speed passenger train, the Amtrak Acela. It was supposed to go into service last year, so it departed a few months late. But on its first run, it arrived in New York from Washington 2 minutes early, 2 hours and 26 minutes total travel time. That cuts about half an hour off the regular train service time.
ABC News World Headquarters in New York. This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Technologies launched and discarded tonight. Amtrak unveiled its new high-speed train between Washington and Boston. This gives the United States its first rail line similar to high-speed trains in Europe and Japan. Amtrak plans to run the train at 150 miles an hour for part of the way. It will cut an hour and a half off the trip from Boston to New York, and maybe another 30 minutes between New York and Washington. Regular passenger service begins next month.
It's better late than never today. And today, Amtrak's new bullet train, the Acela, took a test run with a stop in Philadelphia. Action News reporter John Rollins was on the train from Washington to New York and is now live at 30th Street Station. John, is the Acela all that it's cracked up to be?
Well, it's certainly faster than the Metro liner that it will replace. At one point today, we hit 135 miles an hour. But I think the big surprise for most of us on board is how quiet and smooth the new train is. With a festive champagne send-off, the Acela Express left Washington a year behind schedule, but its supporters are convinced Amtrak's bullet train has the speed and comfort to convince airplane passengers to desert the crowded, traffic-delayed northeast skies.
Why would you want to ride a commuter airline when you can ride this train set?
This can make a huge difference to the way the public travels. Reduce congestion, reduce pollution.
The new Acela Express can hit speeds of up to 150 miles per hour. It will shave a half hour off Metroliner times from New York to Washington. But riders say it's more than just speed. It has everything from TVs to beer on tap. The seats are softer, the windows bigger. Everything seems more refined.
I think you can't feel the speed. It's smooth.
This is much smoother, and there's something calming about this. Intoxicating, I guess.
Part of that intoxicating ride is that the train's cars are designed to actually tilt up to 4 degrees when going around a curve. Among those on board talking about that sensation, students from several Philadelphia high schools.
Every time you make a turn, I can feel it.
You can feel actually sort of slipping to...
Yeah, slipping to the side. We were saying before we were riding the train like this. It was fun, yeah.
This rollout, with its entertainment and hors d'oeuvres, was to have taken place in 1999. The $800 million project was delayed as engineers fixed wheels that were being worn down by the train's million-pound weight.
We've had to make modifications, but that's behind us now, and as you can feel, it's well worth the wait, and the ride quality is really spectacular.
So when can you take a ride? Well, tickets are to go on sale November 29th. The first service for the public is expected on December 11th. Prices, they have not mentioned what Philadelphia prices are at this point, but between D.C. and New York, we are told it will be $143 one way. That's about $21 more than on a Metroliner. Live at 30th Street Station, John Rollins, Channel 6, Action News.
Aboard, Amtrak's new bullet train makes its first run to Boston. Shannon Ogden takes us along for the ride.
Now, from NECN, New England's only 24-hour news channel, this is Primetime New England.
High-speed train service made its debut in the United States today with the maiden run of Amtrak's Acela Express. The trains will run from Washington to New York to Boston. NECN's Shannon Ogden takes us for a ride.
Amtrak's 150-mile-per-hour Acela Express, 3 minutes early as it pulls into New York's Penn Station, ending the first leg of its first Washington to Boston run. How do you celebrate setting a North American passenger rail service speed record and the maiden voyage of Amtrak's future? Well, with Keith Hernandez, the Fonz, and the cast of Fosse.
Went to Emerson College in Boston. So I wish that this train had existed then. It would have been a great way to get to school.
All aboard! Leaving Penn Station for the non-stop trip to Boston's South Station, the Acela Express cuts about 50 minutes off that trip, from 4 hours to 3:09. It's on this leg from New York to Boston. The train reaches its top speed of 150 miles per hour. That's 50 miles per hour faster than any other Amtrak train.
The jet engine, the building of the interstate highway network, and this service is very much like that kind of an opportunity.
Along the northeastern corridor from Washington to Boston, the electrical-powered Acela Express uses existing rail lines, now fully modified. The train seats 304 passengers and is a step up in comfort anyway from airplanes and other trains. Leg room, large restrooms, each seat has an electrical outlet for laptops, a cafe car with beer on tap, television, and an upscale menu. In the first-class car, you get your meal served at your seat and served with fine china with linen.
A combination of airports that aren't working, highways that are jammed to overflowing, and now high gasoline prices is driving transit ridership all over the country right through the roof.
The cost of a one-way business class ticket between New York and Boston, $120. $143 between New York and Washington. There's only one train now. It goes into full-time service December 11th. When all 20 of these high-speed trains are in service by next summer, there will be 10 daily round trips between New York and Boston, 19 daily round trips between New York and Washington. Amtrak is still federally subsidized. According to reports, it posted a $570 million operating loss in 1999. But officials say it's on track to be financially self-sufficient by fiscal 2003.
Last year they brought in revenues in excess of $1 billion. That was the second year in a row that they've done that. And again, they had record-level ridership.
With the year of record airline delays, overcrowding, strikes, and customer complaints, the time seems right for Amtrak to strike. To find out if Americans are finally ready to embrace rail travel, now available at 150 miles per hour. On board the Acela Express, Shannon Ogden, NECN.
Now, Boston's 10 p.m. news leader. This is the 10 o'clock news on WB 56.
It's sleek, it's fast, and it's finally here. It was all aboard the Amtrak Acela high-speed train today as it made its inaugural journey from D.C. to the Big Apple to Boston. Kristen Williams is live at South Station with more on this North American first. Hey, Kristen.
Hey, Karen. A regular train pulling in here to South Station is lucky to reach speeds of 100 miles per hour, but today Acela Express pulled in here after topping speeds of 150 miles per hour. Now high-speed train travel runs from Washington through Boston. No doubt it'll save you time, but it will cost you more.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome America's first high-speed express train, Acela Express.
4 minutes ahead of schedule, Acela Express came to a stop in South Station, the maiden voyage of high-speed travel in the United States.
You were hitting 150 miles an hour, and it was like riding on glass.
The service was extraordinary, and it was just a delight.
Former Governor Michael Dukakis and his wife Kitty were among the first 300 passengers. He believes Acela will bring the romance of train travel back.
I don't know why anyone would fight their way through the tunnel to pay $18 to park at Logan, to pay $30 to a cab when you get to LaGuardia, so you can pay $30 to get back. I mean, this is just so much easier.
The legroom on Acela equals first class on a plane. Each seat has its own electrical unit, and you can even have your own mini board meeting. Washington to New York, 2 hours, 28 minutes. New York to Boston, 3 hours, 15 minutes.
People don't realize we're drunk on Mideast oil.
Hala Ala came to see Acela because she likes the fact it runs on electricity. Still, there are some who love the sheer speed, like the engineer.
This is like going from a 1939 Ford to a 2001 Ferrari. It's great.
Now, Acela will start its daily trips on December 11th. A one-way ticket to New York will cost you $120. As we said, it will take you 3 hours and 15 minutes. Right now, a regular train takes about 5 hours, but only costs $100 each way. So it's time versus money. Of course, Acela is a lot more comfortable. Live at South Station, Kristen Williams, the 10 o'clock news.
Amtrak's new super-fast Acela train begins regular East Coast service today. Finally, Bob Orr went along for a test ride.
It's fast, it's smooth,
and it's coming soon to those who live along the crowded corridor between Washington and Boston.
This is a huge development for passenger railroading in America. This is the first high-speed train in this country.
With a top speed of 150 miles per hour, the train Amtrak calls the Acela Express promises to save passengers valuable time.
It cuts a whole lot of time. I think it's a wonderful idea.
If I can knock off 30 to 40 minutes off the trip, that'd be great. Amtrak is especially targeting the East Coast business travel.
You have all the amenities, your laptop, unlimited use of your cell phone, your pager. You get up, walk around, you can hold a meeting, and in less than 2.5 hours, you're arriving in downtown Manhattan.
The start of high-speed rail service comes at a critical time for Amtrak. Congress is giving Amtrak just 2 years to turn a profit, a challenge that will require 2 million new riders. A growing frustration with airline delays and highway gridlock may help Amtrak reach its goal.
Less boarding time, dealing with taxiways, etc.
But America is decades late with high-speed rail. Bullet trains have long been common in Japan and Europe.
America had the best trains in the 19th century and for the first half of the 20th century, but when we became distracted by only building highways and airports, it fell by the wayside.
Now, railroad buffs say there's a real chance to reverse that. Acela, if successful, could be the model for a rebuilt national rail system. Bob Orr, CBS News, Washington.